Well, it is that time again, and it only means one thing, that SBN is back on your screens. I'm your host, Ayanda Vezi, and with me is Desh Parthab. Desh, how are you?
Hi, Ayanda. Hi, SBN viewers.
DStv Premiership is back. Obviously, last week there was a Carling Black Label knockout. Now we're focusing on the DStv Premiership. Starting off with Orlando Pirates, who dropped the point against Amazulu, and the coach was a bit frustrated because they're trying to catch up Mamelodi Sundowns. They're facing Polokwane City, who also advanced into the
next round
of the Carling Black Label. Your thoughts on the game?
Well, look, if you just want to speak about that Amazulu fixture, I think that it would be points dropped. I think with Jose Ribeiro going to challenge for the DStv Premiership, he has to win his winnable games, and right now he's got quite a few games in hand. And I think unless he starts getting 3 points on the board, Pirates are not going to catch up to Sundowns. This time out against Polokwane City, it's a very, very dangerous Polokwane City. I think they're currently 5th in the DStv Premiership. I think they've got multiple scorers, and they just dispatched Gavin Hunt's Supersport 4-1 in that first round Carling Cup fixture.
Oh, okay. So your thoughts, maybe who's taking this one?
I have to go with Pirates. I think at home, at a home ground, the home advantage will be there. Lepas and Saleh came off the bench against Amazulu, and I think they'll be fit and ready to go for this one.
Okay, we're moving right along. We're still on Amazulu. They'll be facing Chippa United, who got knocked out by Stellenbosch in the Carling Black Label. Amazulu also advanced into the next round of the competition, knocking out the Kaizer Chiefs. Surely the confidence is high.
100%. And I think with Amazulu right now, they've kept 4 clean sheets, or rather 3 clean sheets across the previous 4 fixtures, across all competitions. That run included back-to-back clean sheets against the Soweto Giants. First against Kaizer Chiefs in that 1-0 victory in the cup, and then secondly against Orlando Pirates, a 0-0 draw. Huge advantage for Veli Motua, and his defensive unit as they look to get more clean sheets. Veli Motua is actually being called upon by Hugo Bruce now and again. He was in the last squad, and I think it's because of his strong performances in the nets for Amazulu. This time out against Chippa, I think Chippa will be looking to come out all guns blazing. They need a victory. Morgan Mamalia, he came out the beginning of the season, and I think he spoke about how difficult their opening first few fixtures were. I think they played the top 3 PSL clubs, if I'm not mistaken, in their opening 4 games, and I think they were undefeated, or perhaps just lost to Sundowns.
Yeah, they only lost to Sundowns.
Yeah, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. They are Mamelodi Sundowns, but I think this time out they will need to get the 3 points against Amazulu.
Talking about the next game on the day, which is Saturday, Kaizer Chiefs, who just parted ways with their head coach, Coach Ntseki, and demoting Coach Atazwane back to the development.
The MDC.
Were you surprised when you saw that happening?
Look, to be honest, I think a part of me didn't want to believe it, but I thought that this was going to go the way, as it always does. You don't even have to look far. There's other PSL clubs that also have this sacking culture. If there's no results in the first few months, they're out. You look at Amazulu for starters. I think they ran through 3 coaches in the last 2 seasons, or maybe 4 coaches in 2 seasons. Starting with Benny, then going on to Brandon, then going on to Romain, and now I think Anlila Lamini was there as an interim, and now they're on their 5th manager in Pablo Franco. So I think the same story at Chiefs. I think they've run through 7 managers in the last 5 years or something like that. But when it comes to Ntseki, I just wonder if he just didn't have enough time. But truthfully speaking, Nazrin Nabi was linked to the Kaizer Chiefs job for the longest time, and I think it was more of a panic decision to appoint Ntseki, and I think it never sat right with the fans.
One would ask and say, why did not give Nabi a contract when he said he wants to bring his own technical team when they're gonna again demote Atazwane to the development? One will ask if they should have just
brought him in initially. Yeah. I think it came down to the finances. Maybe they just hid behind his terms, and maybe they didn't want to pay the sum, whatever he was asking for. Now the decision has backfired horribly. Look at where they are. On the log, can't buy a win if they wanted to, and against Golden Arrows, they're probably going to get hits.
And do you see Coach Calvin Jones taking over the job, or they will be looking for another coach because he's an interim coach.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe they're looking somewhere?
Yeah.
Or who do you think, if they're looking somewhere, who is your candidate that you think that will be perfect? Maybe a coach from abroad or locally?
Let's just go with it. Pitso Mosimane. I think he's the only man that comes to mind. I think he's the right one for this Kaizer Chiefs job. And you know, with a man like his stature, what he's done for the national team, for Sundowns and abroad, I think the players will respect him. You know, lots of managers, when they change jobs, they usually have the same, or maybe 70% of the same playing squad, with a few additions and, you know, removals from there. But it's that same group of players that aspire to do better for the certain manager. And I think maybe Ntseki didn't have that, maybe Calvin Johnson doesn't have that, but a man like Pitso Mosimane definitely has that. And it's because he will set that club right, you know. And I think right now there's a lot of maybe whispers from the back room, people, maybe family members. It is a family-run club as well, you know. So lots of talk about who are the signings coming from, who is the Chief Scouting Network, and how they're bringing some unknown names into this huge PSL club.
Well, Nyazwela Nange, Desh, he begs Pitso Mosimane to take over at Naturena. So let's talk about Golden Arrows. This is the team that no one is talking about this season. What is it that they have done so differently? Golden Arrows, they look more dangerous this season, and no one is talking about them. Your Ryan Moon there, he seems like he's their main man this season. Yeah.
Look, you just look at that huge victory against Cape Town City. I think it was last time out, 3-1. Absolute fantastic goal from Tlolani, if I'm not mistaken. You mentioned Ryan Moon, former Chiefs man, so I do think he's going to come back to haunt his former club in this one. He's just banging in the goals, and I think he's going to continue to do so. I think he could maybe end up on 15 PSL goals this season, and I think maybe that's even speaking prudently. I think that whole Golden Arrows team is playing out of their socks, and credit to the head coach.
Do you think the likes of Maputi Kanyeza, since he's the coach, he was coached by Mushin Etokral, some few good coaches.
Easy learn from them, yeah.
Do you think maybe that also has an impact on how this Golden Arrows team look this season?
I think we have to see how long it lasts. I mean, it's all good and well. This is like, I think we're 9 games into the season, if I'm not mistaken. You know, it's a 32 game season. So, you know, you like just about not even halfway through the season. I think we'll judge him when the December break is over. I think lots of PSL clubs fall off, you know, in that time, and equally there's other clubs that pick up drastically. You look at Richards Bay. Not so long ago, they were, I think, second.
Yeah, second.
And then after the turn of the year, they were nowhere to be found. You know, so I think that will be the real test for me, at least.
Okay. In closing, before we go to the last topic, I want you to give me your prediction on this game.
I think Golden Arrows is going to beat Kaizer Chiefs.
Well, now we're moving to Mamelodi Sundowns, who are committed in the African Football League. They play in what is called now an African derby.
Yeah.
They're facing Al Ahly, Lucas Masterpieces Moripe Stadium this coming Sunday. Percy Tau will be again back to haunt his former club. The last time Al Ahly played Mamelodi Sundowns at the very same venue in the CAF Champions League last season, Sundowns smashed them. And this is the semi-final. Your thoughts on this?
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for this one to get started. You know, both sides are going to be raring to go. You mentioned that huge defeat. It's still fresh in the memory of those Al Ahly supporters. And I think right now, where Sundowns are, Al Ahly might just think we can get one over them, because they just got knocked out of the Carling Cup by TS Galaxy. You know, there's a 2-2 draw in that one. But Sundowns were 2-0 down. You know, they showed excellent courage to get back in the game. But I think TS Galaxy, Al Ahly, are watching that and maybe licking their lips at this fixture.
And their main men, their key man at the back for Mamelodi Sundowns, Ntobi Mvala, is missing.
He's not.
He got a red card. Do you think maybe Al Ahly will capitalize on that?
100%. Because
who do you think maybe will come in and replace Mvala in that position?
Look, with Mokoena, we never know what his lineup's going to look like. Maybe Neo comes in. I'm not 100% sure, but I think with Mvala not being there, definitely weakens the squad. I'm not sure about Ronald Williams if he's back. He's available. So, or at least, you know, you would have your national team captain and the Sundowns captain in that lineup. But I think right now, Percy Tau could be looking at that, and seeing that gap in the defense, and maybe that's where he slots in.
And after that, after the game, Mamelodi Sundowns will fly to Cairo because the second leg will be played during the week on the 1st of November. Do you think there will be any fatigue when they get to Cairo? Do they have to seal the game here at home to make sure that they put themselves a spot in the final?
I think there would be lots of fatigue. I mean, you look at the Bafana camp when it ended, the majority of the players were from Sundowns, and you know, they played in that that fixture. Sundowns had a fixture against KS Galaxy one day after the FIFA break ended, and I think now they lost, and now they're gonna play this fixture here, and I think it's a difficult fixture schedule for Mamelodi Sundown, but knowing Rolani, I think he's going to do his best to motivate the players. And you know, against it's continental glory. It's what Sundowns want. It's what their mandate is every year. Their mandate is to go as far and possibly live. And yeah, exactly. So I think right now the challenge is there. You know, it's whether they rise to occasion or not.
And then your prediction on the game?
I think I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw on this one. Can't see many goals in it, but I do think that second leg is going to be a bit of a nightmare. Yeah.
What do you mean by nightmare?
I don't know. We'll pick this up next week.
Desh doesn't want to give me his predictions on this one. But that's it from us. If you want to follow me on my social media platform, on Twitter, I am Ayanda Zulu. On Facebook, I am Ayanda Zulu Ndabezita. Until next time, say go Palezos.
For more soccer betting tips and previews, get the latest copy of Soccer Betting News for only 10 Rand at your nearest Hollywood Bets branch or news agent.